as you can see here, this is the establishing scene of the short film, but unlike other, more conventional films, it's not the most exciting. There's no suspense added to it like an action film or something like that. It is literally just dropping you in to something that happens from day to day. There's a lot of emphasis on what the protagonist does, and it, like here, this phone scene here, for some reason there's a lot of emphasis on the phone, but there's real, there are no heavy connotations towards it, or unless you put your own ones onto it. Like I myself, I don't think anything of the phone, but it's a different shot angle. It's quite interesting. Here you can see more emphasis on just what William does here, opening the door. There's nothing really about it. The door handle there is steamy, which shows that the shower has been going. That's the first hint that something or someone has really been before him. You can see a hint of confusion of William cleaning the mirror but not really thinking anything about it. Maybe he was too tired, or maybe he just doesn't care. Again, throughout the entire film, you only see the torso of William. Just there, his head was cut off. Here, you only see his feet as he drops his t-shirt to the ground. Throughout the entire film, the focus is not just on William, it's more on his actions of what he's doing throughout. We also want to keep the idea of him being watched throughout. So a lot of these shots are from a sort of worm eye view from the ground, like the shot in the beginning where it's knee height. The way you can't really see the entirety of William throughout the film. Like this shot above the sink, it's sort of him or something looking down onto him making his cup of tea, buttering his toast. We wanted to have a omnipresent sort of feeling as if he is being watched. Almost like the Truman Show in a way. No shot angle was safe, really. Again, more emphasis on just the actions of what William is doing. Drawing unnecessary emphasis on what he is doing. Here again, there's a newspaper snippet here for some reason picked out as if someone wanted to remind themselves of that particular article. Here you can see the contrast between shots. This is quite an action shot. It's panning and swiveling around William, and then it suddenly cuts to a very awkward shot. So the smooth panning contrasts with the sharp cut and the awkward angle of this shot here. Again, more emphasis, but also exclusion. We could have filmed that from above and showed William pouring into the already full cup, and us seeing it, and him not. But we decided that it was better that way. Continuing with our theme of emphasis on things that are not the most important. You can see the knives across, which shows the crossing narrative paths of the short film, which will be explained later. You can see the tea bags. Well, there are no tea bags left, so William is going to go out and get some more tea bags because he needs his caffeine fix. There the lights are on, looks as if someone has already been there, been working, as if they have had their tea and they've gone to sit down and done some work. This is the point of view shot from the dead body. Again, continuing with the worm eye shot angles. And right here, as William stands up and it remains out of focus, that's to illustrate the nature of the point of view we're looking through. Like, the body is dead, he can't refocus as William pulls away. So that fixed focal length is what tries to portray the death of the character. It fading to black and also William looking directly at the camera means that he's become self-aware and is somewhat breaking the fourth wall, is breaking the fourth wall. And that's the hook towards the end. It's what we want the audience to see and be saying to themselves, hold on a second, and want them to look through the film and try and find things which lead up to that event. But the thing is, the narrative is so complicated and abstract that its interpretation can be met in so many ways. Like, it can be interpreted in any way you want it to be, which is why we like it and and is what we aimed for as well. I'll draw the narrative here. Okay, so you have the narrative here. This is the narrative of what we're viewing. This is the present. There you go. Now, the dead William. Here's where he discovers his body. Let me change that colour to dark green. Here is where William finds his own dead body. And this is the narrative of that dead body. It could be this way, it could be that way, it could be the start of a new story. And that's why the narrative is so complicated, because that's where it actually starts off rather than it starting at the beginning. And then branching off, like, oh, what if this happened, or what if that happened? So it starts here. That's where the interpretation, that's where it's open.